Hey Raiders fans, we're back with an exclusive video and the latest updates on our beloved Las Vegas Raiders. Before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. That way, you'll always stay up to date with breaking news and exclusive content. The Raiders have reportedly pulled off one of the most shocking moves of the offseason, and the NFL world is still buzzing with whispers about what might be happening behind the scenes. Rumors have been circulating that the team has made a decisive move to acquire Patrick Surtain II, a player whose reputation as a shutdown cornerback has been growing steadily since he entered the league. Insiders suggest that this signing was not just a routine acquisition, but a strategic masterstroke, a play that could completely alter the defensive dynamics of the Raiders moving forward. The chatter among fans and analysts alike centers on the timing and method of the deal, with many suggesting that the Raiders not only outmaneuvered their rivals, but also sent a clear message to the rest of the league about their ambitions. There's talk that the front office has been quietly laying the groundwork for weeks, meticulously planning every step to ensure that they secured Surtain II without giving their competitors, particularly the Broncos, a chance to react. The intrigue grows as reports suggest that the player himself may have had multiple suitors, each presenting different visions for his future. Yet the Raiders' pitch appears to have struck a chord, signaling a potential turning point in the team's defensive identity. The excitement around this potential deal has not just stayed confined to social media chatter. Sources close to the locker room hint that the Raiders' management has been in deep discussions with the players' camp, exploring every angle from contract details to long-term fit within the defensive scheme. Observers are speculating that Surtain II could become the cornerstone of a newly envisioned defensive strategy, one that could see the Raiders shift into a more aggressive, man-to-man coverage focus, potentially changing the narrative around their secondary for years to come. Analysts are buzzing about how this acquisition might affect the broader dynamics of the division, particularly in the context of the Broncos, who reportedly had their eyes set on Surtain II as a critical piece for their own defensive plans. There's a growing belief that the Raiders' front office acted with a calculated boldness, leveraging their resources and persuasive pitch to outflank Denver and other interested teams. Conversations among insiders suggest that this isn't just about one player. It's about sending a message that the Raiders are ready to be major players in the league's elite discussions, willing to make decisive moves to change the trajectory of the franchise. The rumor mills are spinning faster than ever, with fan forums lighting up with every nugget of insider information, making it clear that this potential signing has captured imaginations far beyond the team's immediate market. Speculation has also taken a more nuanced turn, with discussions about how Surtain II's style of play could mesh with the Raiders' current defensive roster. Some insiders suggest that his coverage abilities could provide a much-needed balance to a secondary that has struggled to maintain consistency against top-tier passing offenses. The narrative is thick with conjecture about possible matchups, scheme adjustments, and even leadership roles that Surtain II could assume once he steps onto the field. There's an undercurrent of excitement that this move could rejuvenate a defense that has sometimes appeared vulnerable, turning what was once a perceived weakness into a defining strength. Fans and analysts are dissecting every potential scenario, from preseason alignments to playoff implications, creating an atmosphere of anticipation that feels almost tangible. Meanwhile, whispers continue about the intensity of the negotiations, with some sources claiming that multiple calls and meetings were necessary to finally sway the player toward the Raiders, hinting at the level of commitment and strategic patience displayed by the team's executives. The intrigue surrounding this potential acquisition is compounded by the idea that the Raiders may have quietly shifted the balance of power within their division, sending a subtle yet unmistakable warning to their rivals that they are thinking several moves ahead. The timing of this rumored acquisition has also sparked endless conversation among sports commentators, with many noting that a move of this magnitude during the offseason could signify a broader trend of ambition and urgency within the Raiders organization. Insiders suggest that the management is not only focused on immediate gains, but is thinking long-term, attempting to build a team that can contend consistently while also maximizing the impact of key talent acquisitions like Surtain II. Fans are theorizing about how this move might affect draft strategies, free agency priorities, and even coaching decisions, adding layers of complexity to the ongoing discussion. Meanwhile, the Broncos' apparent miscalculation, or perhaps hesitation, has fueled further speculation, with analysts pondering whether Denver underestimated the Raiders' willingness to make bold moves. The story unfolding here is not merely about one player joining a team. It's about the orchestration of power dynamics, the subtle gamesmanship that defines front office strategy in professional sports. The whispers in the locker rooms, on sports talk radio, and across social media platforms all point to one conclusion. The Raiders are sending a message, one that may resonate throughout the league for the foreseeable future, shaping narratives, fan expectations, and rivalries in ways that extend well beyond a single signing. Beyond the strategic implications, there's also the human element that continues to captivate attention, as speculation swirls about certain the second's personal motivations and how his arrival could impact locker room culture. Insiders suggest that his leadership qualities, work ethic, and approach to preparation could bring a transformative influence, elevating not only individual performance, but also the collective mindset of the Raiders' defensive unit. Conversations around this topic have been intense, with pundits debating how much a single player can influence team morale and performance dynamics, especially when paired with an aggressive acquisition strategy like the one the Raiders appear to have executed. Fans are imagining scenarios where certain the second's presence inspires younger players, reshapes practice intensity, and even forces opposing teams to rethink their offensive strategies when facing the Raiders. While the specifics remain murky, the atmosphere is charged with possibility, creating a buzz that extends far beyond official announcements or press conferences. Every leaked detail, every subtle hint from insiders, is being analyzed and dissected, fueling the kind of rumor-driven excitement that sports enthusiasts live for, reinforcing the sense that the Raiders may have just altered the trajectory of not only their own team, but potentially the division at large. The final layer of this swirling rumor involves the interplay between media coverage, fan speculation, and social media commentary, all of which have magnified the intrigue surrounding this potential acquisition. Observers note that the volume of discussion itself is shaping narratives, creating a feedback loop where speculation drives attention and attention intensifies speculation. This dynamic has resulted in a continuous flow of analysis, predictions, and hypothetical scenarios, with every new detail being treated as potentially decisive. Sources claim that the Raiders' PR strategy may have even embraced this environment, allowing the rumor mill to operate freely while carefully managing official communication to maintain strategic ambiguity. In this sense, the drama surrounding Patrick Surtain II's potential move is as much about perception as it is about the actual contract details, highlighting the psychological chess being played by front offices across the league. For fans, the uncertainty is electric, prompting debates, social media campaigns, and fervent discussions about what the future holds. Meanwhile, insiders continue to drop subtle hints, feeding a narrative that keeps everyone guessing and ensures that the Raiders remain at the center of the conversation in ways that extend far beyond the simple mechanics of signing a player. The interplay between rumor, anticipation, and strategic communication creates an almost cinematic atmosphere, making it feel as though the unfolding story is bigger than football itself, capturing imagination and speculation in equal measure. As the rumor continues to grow, analysts and fans alike are left piecing together fragments of information to try and understand the full implications of what could be one of the most audacious moves in recent memory. Speculation ranges from how certain the second style of play could redefine the Raiders' defensive schemes to how this acquisition might influence future negotiations and rivalries within the division. The narrative that has emerged is one of boldness, calculation, and a willingness to seize opportunities in ways that force competitors into reactive positions. While official confirmation remains elusive, the buzz is unmistakable, and every insider tip seems to add fuel to the fire, creating an ecosystem of discussion where the rumor itself becomes almost as significant as the underlying reality. Fans continue to theorize, pundits continue to analyze, and social media continues to amplify the suspense, making this rumored acquisition a central talking point that is unlikely to fade anytime soon. In the midst of all this speculation, one thing is clear. Whether or not every detail is accurate, the Raiders have succeeded in capturing the imagination of the football world, setting the stage for a narrative that could define the team's offseason and beyond, as the anticipation builds toward what might be an unforgettable chapter in the franchise's history. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on our Las Vegas Raiders. And don't be shy. Drop your thoughts on the news in the comments below. The potential arrival of Patrick Surtain, the second to the Raiders, has ignited not just speculation about the defense, but an entire fan ecosystem eager to dissect every possible implication of the move. Online forums are ablaze with theories about how his presence might influence matchups against the league's top receivers, with some arguing that his skill set could allow the team to take more risks elsewhere on the field. The whispers also extend to coaching strategy, as analysts speculate about the ways defensive coordinators might adapt schemes to fully utilize his coverage abilities. Some insiders suggest that the mere threat of Surtain, the second, locking down elite receivers could force opposing quarterbacks to rethink timing and routes, which might have ripple effects across the league. Meanwhile, fans are sharing graphics, mock scenarios, and even speculative highlight reels imagining his first impact plays with the team, creating a sense of anticipation and excitement that seems almost tangible. The intrigue is amplified by the notion that such a high-profile acquisition could serve as a statement, signaling that the Raiders are not just filling gaps, but actively reshaping the identity of the franchise in ways that might reverberate for years. Social media is feeding the frenzy, with every minor hint, cryptic tweet, or reported meeting being dissected for hidden clues, creating a snowball effect where speculation fuels excitement. Excitement fuels more speculation, and the story grows with each passing hour, leaving fans and pundits alike wondering if the Raiders have quietly shifted the balance of power in the division. Beyond the tactical implications, there's a human drama developing around Surtain II's possible move, with whispers that his personality and leadership qualities could redefine the locker room atmosphere. Rumors suggest that coaches and teammates alike are intrigued by the prospect of having a player whose professionalism and work ethic are as widely praised as his athletic abilities. Analysts are theorizing that his presence could inspire younger players, raise standards during practice, and even influence the mental approach of the entire defensive unit. The narrative growing around this acquisition has begun to intertwine with fan expectations, creating a dynamic where every intercepted rumor or insider tip is instantly dissected for signs of how the player will fit into the team culture. Some insiders hint that the Raiders' front office may have factored this cultural impact heavily into their pursuit strategy, recognizing that the right personality in the locker room can sometimes yield results as impactful as a high draft pick or free agent signing. Meanwhile, the buzz surrounding potential rivalry actions continues, particularly regarding the Broncos, whose apparent interest in Surtain II may have been thwarted by the Raiders' aggressive and calculated maneuvers. The story is evolving into a layered saga of talent acquisition, strategy, and personal influence, creating the kind of narrative energy that sports enthusiasts thrive on, where every detail is scrutinized, every decision analyzed, and every possibility theorized. Rumors have also begun swirling about how this move could influence future draft strategies, with speculation that the Raiders may be positioning themselves to leverage Surtain II's arrival to maximize flexibility in other roster decisions. Analysts suggest that securing a player of his caliber could allow the team to prioritize other positions of need, knowing that their cornerback situation has been effectively addressed. This speculation has fueled a broader narrative about strategic foresight, with observers highlighting the Raiders' apparent ability to think several moves ahead, crafting a team not just for immediate improvement, but for sustained competitiveness over multiple seasons. Fan conversations have reflected this analytical angle, with mock drafts and trade speculation dominating forums, each iteration dissecting how the Surtain acquisition might reshape priorities and influence potential negotiations with other free agents. There is also chatter about how this could affect contract negotiations for existing players, as the dynamics within the roster shift to accommodate a high-profile newcomer, potentially creating ripple effects that extend beyond a single signing. The rumor mill continues to churn, feeding theories about both immediate tactical benefits and long-term organizational strategy, suggesting that the Raiders' front office is engaged in a multifaceted approach that blends talent acquisition, financial planning, and competitive positioning into a cohesive, high-stakes narrative. Each piece of leaked information, no matter how small, is magnified in this context, creating layers of speculation that ensure the story remains endlessly engaging for fans and analysts alike. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Las Vegas Raiders, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.